They're talking about what's going on with his face and the fact that it is the herpes. You know what I mean? He starts talking about how, oh, I bet you I can still get a girl to kiss me tonight. I'm sorry, that sounds like a threat.
And I bet anything, these be the same men that be like, not in my circle. Another example of women being the protectors and men being the predators.
How do women still go out with guys when you consider the fact that there is no greater threat to women than men?
One of Hollywood's biggest predators said this out loud.
If I pull that rubber off after the first 2 strokes, whoop-de-doo.
Sir, you need to be in prison. Yeah, go on and pack all this shit up. Go on and wrap it up. It's it's over. Man, we off the reservation. We off the reservation. This ain't crazy to me. It's not like unbelievable. I'm saying it's crazy, but it's not unbelievable. But it's still shocking. You know what I mean? Like, it's still like, are you serious? We can't be this bad. Yeah, no, we this bad. It is this bad, y'all.
Ladies, please be careful who you're choosing to swap salivas with. Even guys, this is actually terrifying. So this woman said she had gone out with some friends over the weekend. She at some point stepped away to go to the bar to get more drinks. While she was at the bar waiting for the bartenders to get to her, because obviously, when it's busy, they're doing other shit. She overhears a conversation of a group of guys that are literally right next to her. Because if she wasn't being nosy, they were probably loud as fuck, okay? So she kind of looks over at them and notices one of them has a bunch of breakouts around his mouth. Okay, not like me. Okay, this is period breakout. Don't try to do me. I know some of y'all like to fuck around in the comments. Anyways, she notices that guy, and then they're talking about what's going on with his face and the fact that it is the herpes. You know what I mean? He starts talking about how, oh, I bet you I can still get a girl to kiss me tonight. I'm sorry, that sounds like a threat. So the guys are sitting there like, no, you can't. No, you can't. I bet you can't. They start making bets on whether or not he will get a girl to kiss him that night. That's illegal. In case you didn't know, that right there, because of how they're going about the situation, is illegal as fuck. Because he's not going to sit there and tell the person he's going to lock lips with that he was saying, oh, I'll just tell him it's pimples. I'll just tell them it's a pimple breakout. So she's overhearing this and it's kind of like, oh my God, these sick fucks. And his buddies are sitting there like, yeah, like hyping him up basically.
And I bet anything, these be the same men that be like, not in my circle. Not my circle. I don't know anybody I don't know. All my men, we all take care of our kids. None of us have ever harmed a woman in any way. We all angels. I just so happen to meet a group full of angelic men. Nah, bro. No. This is crazy.
So she goes about her business, gets her drink, goes back to her friends, and notices at some point in the night that he's with a girl. And she wasn't sure if they kissed or not, but she feels like she did. So at some point, the guy steps away to maybe use the restroom or maybe go back to his buddies to brag. And she walks over to the girl and is like, hey, that guy you were just with, did you guys kiss? And the girl says, yeah. And so she kind of mentioned something about the stuff on his mouth. And she said, yeah, I was kind of worried about it. But when I brought it up, he said it was just pimples, like he said he would. And so she says, look, I don't want to freak you out, but I was at the bar and I was overhearing him and his buddies' conversations, and they made a bet on whether or not he could get a girl to kiss him with all that on his mouth, and it is indeed the herpes. And she was pissed. Her and her friends end up just leaving because of how upset they were.
If she would have walked up to that man and slapped him in the face, would we be mad? I just want I always think of these like random instances because men love to justify, putting their hands on women, and they be like, keep your hands to yourself. And I'm like, nah, sometimes men be deserving to get the shit slapped out of them. Just men deserve it sometimes. And this is one of those moments, like, you deserve to get the shit slapped out of you if you're a man. Yeah, it hurts you physically. Yeah, whatever. But there's no threat there, right? So if that woman slaps you because you fucking kissed her knowing you had herpes, I think she deserves at the very least to slap you. I think she can hit you in the face with a fucking bottle. right? But I'll take a slap at the very least.
Why they left, I don't know, because I would have called 911. Report criminal
Not 911.
activity. Because that is against the law. Anyways, the guy comes back while she's still standing in the area where the girl was. And he's like, where did she go? And she's like, I told her. Because I overheard you and your buddies at the bar. And I told her because that's fucked up. And that's not, she didn't bring up legalities there. But she was just like, that's fucked up. They start cussing her out. The boys start cussing her out, talking about it was none of your business. Why are you telling somebody else's business? And she says, they had a little back and forth, and at the end of the day, she was like, you were wrong as fuck for that. You should have, it was your business to tell her, and you were not going to tell her, so therefore I made it mine.
Another example of women being the protectors and men being the predators. Another one. Thank you. Like every single day, there's another example on top of another example on top of another example of men causing harm and women trying to mitigate said harm.
Terrifying. People can be so fucking malicious. That's evil ass shit. He going straight to hell. He going straight there. No.
Sadly, he won't. He ain't even going to jail, and he should. That I for the life of me, just listening to the stories over and over and over again, this could be real, this could be fake, right? It could be. I believe her. I'm not saying I don't believe her. That's why I'm sharing the story. But there's nothing, what I mean? She's telling the story of another person. But the reason why these stories resonate with me so much and the reason why like I can believe them so easily is because I know the character of men. I know how just utterly disgusting men can be, how down low men can get and how down low men can be. Men hate women so much. We have no desire to protect them. None whatsoever. This goes back to my theme as of late. Keep your hands to yourself. Stop harming women. This falls into that category. That man could have simply chosen not to do that to another person, to a woman. But he did. Just another example of how nefarious men are, how diabolical men are, and how they have no fealty to women whatsoever. It's crazy. A lot of people tagged me in this clip, and I was like, I don't like Louis C.K. I've never liked Louis C.K. Even before all the what he did, his terrible behavior was exposed. But even Louis C.K. says this about men. Like, this says a lot.
How do women still go out with guys when you consider the fact that there is no greater threat to women than men? We're the number one threat to women. Globally and historically, we're the number one cause of injury and mayhem to women. We're the worst thing that ever happens to them. That's true. You know what our number one threat is? Heart disease. That's the whole thing. That's it. Just our own heart going, dude, you can't keep doing this. I told you 3 strokes ago that this is not smart. But women still think, yeah, I'll go out with you alone at night. What are you, nuts? I'll get in your car with you with my little shoulders. Hi, where are we going? To your death, statistically. How do they still do it?
A predator, Louis C.K., one of Hollywood's biggest predators, said this out loud. A serial essayer said this out loud. A serial sexual assaulter said this out loud. And he ain't wrong. He ain't tell one lie. Now, I don't care, I mean, as a man, you can ask the question and wonder as a man, like, man, but I know why women go out with men still. They're compelled to do so biologically and psychologically and societally. Super easy. That's why. Right? Nature compels women to go out with men. That, like, men love to talk about the nature of men. The nature of women and people are to have these experiences with one another. That is our nature drives us to do so. Our nature does that. That is literally ingrained in us. That is not, that is a physiological thing. We are reacting to our hormones and our DNA and all of that stuff, driving us to be in relationships with one another. So I'm not amazed by like, why do women still go out with men? I totally understand. That's why I fucking hate having the discussion of like, women are to blame for men, men's sexual behaviors and deviancies and all of that stuff. If you guys stop giving in to it, if you stop showing men your feet, they would, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't buy into that nonsense at all, because I know that we are compelled naturally to be in relationships with one another. By nature, we are driven. So can we stop blaming women? Can we stop asking women? Let's just focus on the behaviors of men, because it seems like it would be very easy for a man not to knowingly expose a woman to herpes. Right? That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that seems like that should be something that men should be like, I'm not going to expose a woman to herpes. Am I? Can we just like not do that? Can we just like not be weirdos? Is that okay? So you had one man just openly, or not open. I mean, he was saying it in public, but I I don't know what to call that. If that's like some type of sexual assault to knowingly give a person, expose a person to an STI or an STD. But he openly spoke about doing it and took bets on it. Like, and then you have men openly admitting to saying they will SA women.
If I pull that rubber off after the first 2 strokes, whoop-de-doo. I watched too much WWE Raw growing up, and that's how I like it. What Soulja Boy say? I need to feel it. I need to feel it. I need to. Bye-bye.
Yeah, he just said that. He just talked about taking the rubber off within the first 2 strokes. Sir, you need to be in prison. How many times have you done that? If you're just saying that out loud, like, that you think that this is like normal to say. And I know he's gonna, of course I would tell them, well, I'm talking about with your wife. It could, nigga, you didn't preface what you said with any of that. So I don't want to fucking hear it. If you meant it differently, then say it. You just said that you would, because the condom being put on is an agreement between both people. I'm pretty sure. She wants the condom on, you put the condom on, you want to put the condom on, whatever. That's your entry, right? That's what allowed you entry. She said, cool, we can do it, but you got to wear a condom. You said, bet. You put a condom on, you start to have sex, 2 strokes in, you take it off unknowingly. You're not going to tell her. You didn't say, I'm going to take it off, I'm going to tell her. You said, I'm going to take it off. Whoop-de-doo. Like, it doesn't matter what she says. Crazy. Disgusting. Crazy. Scary, spooky, not hilarious.
Hi, my name is Finnegan. I live in Dallas, Texas. This man followed me, and so did that man, until I ripped out my used pad, my pepper spray, and started screeching "Disease" by Lady Gaga. Did they leave me alone? Let's not forget him. He also came over here. And there was one more. So am I going to keep this pad in my hand until I get home? I guess I have to.
I mean, we can end it. Y'all are, bro, leave these fucking women alone, bro. 4 men at night converging on one woman. Give the women guns. Take away the guns from men. Give all the women guns. Oh, man. I don't know. How can you even say, where can you say? Where are we going from here? She wrote, I'm butt ass naked. I'm butt ass naked. And woke up to a whole bunch of men inside of my apartment.
Sorry. What the fuck are you guys doing?
We're doing an inspection, ma'am. Can we come in? We're doing an inspection.
Why are you in my apartment?
We're doing an inspection, man.
Do you have, wait, is that my club?
We didn't think anyone was home.
That's even worse.
Man.
I am naked in my house, in my own privacy, and you came and opened the door?
We understand that. We apologize.
I'm calling the police. Esther, do you have the phone? Let me call the police. They just came in my fucking house, open.
Dog. Bro. Now, if she'd have woke up and started and let off a couple rounds on him, she'd have been wrong, huh? Man, it's game over. It's game over. It's game over. The behaviors plus what men say out of our own mouths, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And everybody knows it. Even other predators are calling out men. Even predatory men are calling out other predatory men. The jig is